ಕಾಲರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ crowd switch off the mobile and keep it silent. Yes. ನನಗೆ ಬಾತ್
This weekly meeting is called to order. Can I request everyone to please rise for silent invocation?
Can I request T. Sridhar, past president, to propose the four-way list?
Good evening. Four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you. Can I request Rotary Balachandra to say what thought for the day?
Good evening, friends. Thought for the day. Conquer the angry one by not getting angry. Conquer the weak by goodness. Conquer the stingy by generosity. And the liar by speaking the truth. Thank you.
Leave of absence today. Lieutenant Neelakantan and Subramanian D.R., Sridhar V., Durai Swami, Radha, Ananta Seshasayana, Virupaksha. All they have sent officially. Leave.
Friends, on the official thing, let me welcome you all to this wonderful gathering. Probably a Corona evening. Yeah, thank you so much. We have a special person to get recognized. Rotary Datto Ramanathan from Friends, recent past, we have successfully completed Jean Harris Carnival Season 6. I would like Nandu later to brief on the event. Followed by, there was a successful completion of Road Track Raida, and I requested Dr. Prashant to get recognized. Dr. Prashant was there. Dr. Prashant, please give a big applause to Prashant. 106 participants. 104 participants with the overnight stay at a resort in ECR. Phenomenally planned, executed, nicely recognized. Thank you, Prashant. It was a great effort. Thank you so much. Following that, I would like to recognize the brainchild project of Balachandra, Naju, the educating underprivileged students of Academy program and the MS office program. Three contact. Fourth one, yeah. Thank you, Bala, for that. With that, I just move on quickly to the Avenue thing. Avenue thing, on the first one, Arul President requested, there are around 21 members yet to pay the second half. I request everyone to pay the subscription as early as possible, because on the dues, everything got paid. This is a request from the treasurer. And then we have this membership, two people we have. One is on the way, so I'm just postponing that later. On the Rotary Foundation, friends, as Scott told previously, we have two district grants, and then WINS project, and then 3 local grants project are lined up. In that, 2 district grants project. One is renovation of Mathur School. The tune of 4.5 lakh rupees. The work is starting in this week, and the grant has got awarded. The modalities got done, so the work is getting started this week. Parallelly, Mohapur School WINS project. The toilets are getting renovated. Like this, that work is also getting started this week. The third one, the district grant project, is Ortho Hospital. The lab accreditation is getting done. That work is also started. The inauguration is planned by 25th of this month. The chairman is Dr. Prashant. he is again executing it in a style. So we need all your support. There will be an invite from Dr. Prashant to join. And in that, as a goal initiative, Venergy is planning to plant coconut trees and regular usage trees on the same day. So those two activities will happen on the March 25th. That will be special invite. Please join that. That is with respect to Rotary Foundation and the Green Initiative. On the club service side, there's information on the official group. Please block your date. April 15th is our official calendar visit. So please block your date. The things are getting done. We have almost 1 month to go for that. On the vocational service, can I request Balachalan to announce?
Good evening, friends. 3-4 announcements from Vocational Service Avenue. First is NATRU program, almost 4 classes successfully completed. Very good response from the students and management also. We started with 50 students. If more batch management so it's going well. 4 classes completed, 5th class tomorrow. Our own Rotarian Virupakshan is going to take classes in my service. So I request members to join and encourage the students. Own announcement. Second one is 21st March Saturday. We are planning to go visit Hindu factory. I'm not getting confirmation, but it's once I receive the confirmation, I will send the details. 21st March Saturday. And next is 25th. We are planning to give a Charak award. But if you want to share some information, details. Good. Okay. 25th. Sure. 25th. Thank you. 25th. 25th we are giving the Charak award. So that is also planned from vocational service team. And last one is 4th and 5th we are planning to go to Tanjore. So the details I shared in our official group. I request all the members to participate in for Tanjore trip. Sure. Aditya we will arrange. Okay. From my side, I request all the members. I will arrange another person, no problem. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, moving on. Community service development. We have a long association with Madam Bama, Ms. Bama, and she is now currently headmaster of Avdi Girls Higher Secondary School. She is getting retired, and the retirement function is happening on 14th. So she has sent a formal invitation to join the retirement, and the board is happy to give her a memento. So the memento is getting ready. Anybody could be able to join on the 14th. Is going to happen in the Avdi Girls School. It's going to be on 11 o'clock on 14th March. So I request on behalf of her to join on the retirement thing. She's been associated with us while she was assistant headmaster in government school. From then on, her association is there. Lot of programs is there, and we have awarded her best teacher award from RCT also. So that way she is good association with us. With respect to this. And I'm so happy to announce that our own member Naresh Kumar, the random cyclist, he is on the mission to do one more cycle rally in the USA. He is going to complete that and then go to Honolulu in Hawaii. We're going to participate in the RI convention. So all your motivation is required for him to complete that rally. Yes, and then on the community service health, Murthy is planning for the second Site Now camp for the newcomers. Site Now is a MESU. MESU is a mobile eye surgical unit. The benefits is the cataract surgery will be done on the doorstep. 2 buses from Sankaranethala will travel, stay in Erode for 10 to 12, 13 days. And surgery will happen there. Per day, 30 surgeries will happen. And the success rate is 100%. This time, the second camp of this year is going to happen in Erode. The planning is on the way. It is most probably end of April or beginning of May. So please block the date. I request everybody to please participate. You will feel the power of Rotary. The life-changing event will happen there. The magic will happen. Please trust me. You can please participate in it. Yes, on the, Venati, you want to talk about this green initiative?
Oh, Charaka, that,
No, Charaka is 18.
that Charaka is 18. We are not school.
President Shivra, Secretary Ramesh, Chairman for the evening, Selvakumar, Special Speaker for the evening, Dr. Santosh, RCTNs and friends. We have been steadfastly concentrating our efforts on community service development at Alathur in association with the NGO Udavan Nambargal. It has been our mission to translate Alathur and its neighboring villages into a model village, and in pursuit of that, one of our major initiatives have been on greening the villages in and around Alathur. We also have our medical center, the RCG Medical Center at Alathur, which is kind of a mini specialty hospital with physiotherapy, eye care, diabetic care, and a physician in attendance every day at the hospital. The latest initiative that we have planned is that we have identified 800 houses with their own independent compound in and around these villages. We are planning to give them fruit-bearing trees, 5 fruit-bearing trees per house, on the commitment from the house owners that they would take the pit, use fertilizers, water the plants, and we would be providing them with 5 trees. In the first phase, I am personally sponsoring 150 houses with these saplings. We have just arranged 300 coconut saplings, and the balance saplings are expected shortly. And in phases, we would carry out this endeavor so that in a process of time, these fruit-bearing trees would not only help in improving the health of the villages, but also would be a source of remuneration for them. I would request members with a green thumb to come forward in this initiative and support us so that we can complete our mission of 800 houses as soon as possible. I look forward to seeing full attendance on the 25th because many of you may not have visited the medical center and would not have also seen the kind of commitment and dedication of the NGO we have associated at Alathur Udavan Nambargal. Looking forward to seeing all of you on the 25th at Alathur. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay. I think that's done with the Hamini information. Over to today, meeting chairman is Rotary Selvakumar. Over to Sir Chairman.
Thank you, President. Good evening. Sorry for the delay. Induction of new member, instead of Rotary Radha, I may please call Satish Kumar to Rotary, please. Good evening, friends. For membership in Telima, 97. So today we are going to elect 2 more members. The magical number of 100 will be done on the governor visit.
I like your question. Radha, you take it so okay. Claim charge.
So on behalf of membership chair Radha, I am happy to introduce 2 members today. One is Prabhu, who is going to be built and called the Rotarian Prabhu, and second is Karthik. Both of these people.
Okay. Can you introduce everything?
Please, Prabhu, please come. Please come the family.
With the family.
Prabhu is director of NTV Travel Planner Private Limited, Chennai Bus Travel Agencies, a graduate in commerce from Madras University, 15 plus years experience in tourism. Presently, they have branches in Bangalore, New Delhi, and Malaysia. They are specialized in domestic and international tour packages. Prabhu is been doing informal contribution to underprivileged section of people, and the same is getting executed through various networks. He is now looking to associate himself with like-minded people and engage in the works that makes direct impact in the society in larger scale. He married to Manjuna and has 2 daughters. I request past President Venuji to come and pin. I request Nandu also please join the dais to introduce him. Please join.
Satish, central. Get up,
Thank you, dear Prabhu. Then comes the gentleman who says one wife, one son. Please come, Mr. Khan.
With one wife on one side?
With one wife on one side. Yeah, one wife and சொல்லிட்டே இருக்காரு. நந்து அதான் கேட்கறாரு வந்த உடனே.
எல்லா அடியும் வீட்டுக்கு போடுது அப்படின்னா சார். இங்க எடுக்கிறவங்க எதுவும் ஆகாது.
Introduced by Neelakandan. Okay. Neelakandan. Karthik is a Bachelor of Electronic Science graduate from University of Madras, having 17 plus years of experience in direct sales, distribution and channel management, was served in various organizations like Tech Pacific, Redington, Oracle, Microsoft and various capacities. Then he trained more than 100 plus sales and sales of his people. Karthik started his entrepreneur's journey in 2017, the start of his lighting company, Rayline Lighting. So today, Rayline Lighting is one of the emerging lighting solution provider for largest former retail chains and other corporate clients. Happy to introduce Karthik here. Married to one wife. I request Datto Ramanathan from Penang Club and also our past president Ramanathan also to please join here.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Prabhu and Karthik. Wait for the 100 member and government visit. Thank you.
This time, Nandagopal,
Routine Harris. He'll be a big ambassador connected in a big way.
Good evening all. I hope most of the people were, most of the members from this club were there during the Gene Harris Carnival, season 6. It was a fabulous event, and of course it's a flagship event of Rotary Club of Greenway. And here we have a summary of the complete event today. To bear with me for 5 to 10 minutes. So Gene Harris Carnival, season 6. It started with a few of planning meetings at Rotarian V. Sridhar's office. It was a complete, there's some few pictures what you see here. We started the curtain raiser on 29th of Jan 2020. It was a fabulous, event there. It was Shivami and Satish explaining the team selection process. We had a lot of players who had registered through online. The flag was released. Basically, every team owner owns the basic. It's a kind of an IPL format where the team is owned by Rotary Club of India members, and we had to launch. We had a logo. A flag was launched. A T-shirt logo with sponsors. So we also had bands from Anna, Ria, and Then we also had practice sessions. We had 5 practice sessions, which was on January 18th, 25th, February 16th, 23, and 29. It was again at the same venue of B.G. Vaishnav College. It was morning 7 to 10. We had sumptuous breakfast. Then, on 1st March, Gene Harris Carnival was there. As you all know, it's basically for Rotary Club of Rotary District 3232, where we have almost close to 125 clubs, where out of that 32 clubs had participated in this event. It needs an applause for that. Where throwball we had 6 teams, where 54 players were there, and volleyball, we had 10 teams with 102 players. These were the team owners and teams logos, where it is for throwball. We had Aika Warriors, owned by Shabir and Hasina. Sigma Power by Another Station, Team Infidables by Shanat Kumar. Tangatari by Selva Kumar. And Isai Tender from Isai and Balasubramanian. And Fine Tech Gangster by Drabi. Volleyball teams and owners, Anchor Enterprises was Vijayana, Chennai Crystals Ramesh Babu, Gabbers Gang Venkatesh Gupta, HNS Rockers by Shivraman, and Kabali Super Teams by Kadir and Shankar. Mitsubishi Heavy Champions was Pranay and Radha, and NLM Lightning Warriors was Prabhu, RS Lions by Praveen, Stepstone Pillars by Motish and Shaji, and White Brand Warriors by Sriraman and Balachandra. So these are all the 10 teams from volleyball. These are just few of the snaps what we had through this is a registration process. Those are all the awards which we had planned for to give it for the winners. Few of the pictures during the event. Inauguration, we had PDGs with us, PDG Srinivasan, PGD ISC Nazar, and PGD and Madhubaniappan. And we had good time for also for the kids, where we had this jumping castle and the archery, balloon shooting, and Mehendi by Rotarian Anuradha, who's here. Thank you, Anuradha, for that. And your daughter, yes. Popular Clutch by our hands. Something which is really commendable when we asked, when we had this idea of having a potluck lunch. Immediately we had a lot of support from the hands that yes, we will be part of this group, and thanks to my wife Amli, who was very supportive in terms of all hands who are here. Janaki ma'am, yes, Shubha. Huh? Yeah, can I request you to raise and get recognized, please? Whoever is part of this event. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry? Yeah, they served about 300 plus food for visitors. It was a voluntary function. We had district governor designate, nominated designate. Mr. Nandakumar was there and ACT Nazar. Through results, winners were Team Infilables, owned by Sharad Kumar. Runner was Isai Temple, owned by Isai Arajan Balasubramanian. Manager was Anuya. Manager was Anuradha. I think she did a fabulous job. And here we have the winning owner also coming up. I just go back. Let us go back to it. Yeah. So there's runner. Volleyball winner was Elena Lighting, Prabhu. Runner was Praveen, RS Lions, and team. And it's time to recognize. Sponsors, co-sponsors and partners, Rotarian Rajkumar, Rotarian Ananda Session, Leo Coffee, Rotarian Srinivasan, again he's from Rotary Club of Madras East. When he and Satya approached him for helping us in this event, he was generous enough to lend his hand there. Tirtha Water, Rotarian Durga Das, Metaplast Office, we have Rotarian Ananda Singh with us. Thank you very much. Synergy Physio, our own club member, Rotarian Suresh Franklin, and Audio Visuals, Rotarian Srinivasan. Team owners of Throwball, Rotarian Sharad, the winner, Rotarian Ananda Session, Rotarian Selva Kumar, Rotarian Isai and Balasubramaniam, Rotarian Shabir and Anna Asina, and Rotarian Dravi. Team owners of volleyball, Rotarian Prabhu, the winner, Rotarian Praveen, the runner-up, Rotarian Venkatesh Gupta, Sri Raman Balchandran, Ramesh Babu, Pranay Radhakrish, Shivraman, Kadir William Shankar, Motish Shaji, and Vijayan. GNA's Carnival team. Without them, I don't think so this particular event was ever possible. And great thank you to all the people who were there part of this team. Were Kadir, Ramesh, Arul, Shankar, Sharad, Neelakandan, BRS, Sridhar, Sridharan, Satish, Satya, and Balachandran. And a special mention to my wife Amli for coordinating with throwball owners and players. I'm sure without her support, it would not have been possible to coordinate all throwball players. T-shirts by Shankar, and jury team was Satish and Sridhar. They had an excellent coordination on that. And treasurer Sridhar V with support of Arun Purasamy and Balchandran. Digital ads, total ads and sponsors, slots booked with 217 slots, which is something really commendable and excellent, because we had a very good target, but anyway, this was a very very good achieved numbers anyway. Special thanks to Radhakrish for getting sponsors and ad sponsors. Special thanks to Rotarian Ramesh Babu for coordinating and compiling all the ads to the screen. Whatever ad what you saw on the screen was never possible without Ramesh. He lit his midnight lamp. Yeah, single-handedly, and he was doing, I think he was doing until the morning 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Right, I think so. Yeah, thank you very much, Ramesh. And Rotarian Sridharan for all the teasers and digital printing. Full sponsors. Special thanks to Dr. Ram Kumar, Rotarian, and Dr. Lakshmi Ram Kumar for sponsoring the breakfast on 1st of March. Again, this was also something which was the last minute where he was generous and he came forward and said, can I sponsor something? And that day I think his father's anniversary was the death anniversary was there, so he was whether I just want to do an anagaram or something. I said, you're most welcome and everything else. Special thanks to Popular Lunch team, of course we have here, and thanks to RCG, Janaki, Amli, Dobna.
Small interruption. As you call the names, please ask them to stand up so we can.
Yeah,
Sorry for being late.
no problem. So, Janaki, Amli, Dobna, Vaishnavi. Yeah, again, hands please, please raise. Sharat was missing you, so I think he wants to speak again. Raji, Baba, Raji, Nanduri, Siddhartha, Shubha, Nivedita, Karuna, Purna, Buddha, Vidya, Hakuni, Mukherjee, and Nandita. Thank you very much. Without you, this would not have been possible. Special thanks to Amli again for appearing and for that activity. Supporters, other supporters who were supporting us during this event, DG Vaishnav College and team, Vijay Catering for all the breakfast during the practice sessions and during the event. Ravi for the Shamiana, Satish, Steve, there's other Satish for the special trophies we had, Sanjay and Kusha for flyers and t-shirts, Rekha Reddy for ice creams, Prabhu here, now called Rotarian Prabhu, for the chart strong and his business. Excellent. I think they were also very happy about serving the chart during the event. Rajesh of Captain Icons for who had a stall for ice cream. Rotarian Rajlakshmi for the kids area. Rotarian Anuradha again here from our club for Mehendi and her daughter. Rotarian London for throw and volleyball supply. And HMS staffs, definitely they have been always supporting all through this year and always they have been for the YouTube and logistics what we had during this event. Of course, referees and markers also. And I have a very excellent generosity from Rotarian Varinder Singh, who is also here. They've been practicing all around the year in a volleyball club, and they have a big collection here who he wants to generate to give it to the Rotary Club Trust, Rotary Club of VT Trust. And so I request P.B. Balaji, Managing Trustee of Rotary Club Trust, Rotary Club of VT Trust, whether you can hand over this to him. Yes, please.
In fact, we added some more in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, to make things clear, this is not from my pocket, honestly. This is from more than 50 odd players. 50 odd players who played together, and we used to pay up the venue, right? So there was a surplus that I thought we should instead give it to the worthy cause. So it comes from all the Rotarians. What matters is not what's inside, but the thought that they could contribute. So everybody felt good that they played and were able to contribute. In fact, some of them actually told me, I would have contributed more. Right? That wasn't the point here. So next, ready up.
Thank you. Last but not the least, special thanks to our Rotary Club of VT family who sponsored, who owned team, who played, participated in the activity and morally supported for this event to grow to the next level. With this, Gene Harris Carnival Season 6 comes to an end. This is the horse logo which we have, and this was the award also. Big, better and bolder. All the best for Season 7. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Nandagopal. Next speaker address, Uttravun Deepa
மருந்து விளைச்செல்வான் என்று அப்பா நூல் கூற்றே மருந்து நாள் கூற்றே மருந்து. Patient, doctor, medicine and nurse are fourfold course of treating course. நோயாளி, மருத்துவம், மருந்து, துணை புரியும் செவிலியர் எனும் 4 அம்சங்களிலும் தெளிவான நடைமுறையை கொண்டதே நல்ல மருத்துவம். Among the 4, I am calling the doctor. Please have your opinion. I welcome him. Please, the extra form regulation. Yes, I have a so, please.
Am I audible? No, it's just switch on.
Check. Okay, I think the sound is enough. It's a pleasure to see so many of you here to listen about something you've been hearing about all through. Okay, yeah. So it's a pleasure to see new Rotarians, guest Rotarians, and so many of you, including Annettes. Yeah, children especially have to know how to protect your grandparents. See, the coronavirus has been amidst us from, I think, 200 years. The information we have online, the information we have on WhatsApp, a lot of that information is just information from a single source, which is portrayed in a way that it appears like it is the truth. Yeah. So first, thank you. Can I have the laptop turned towards me so that I can face them and talk? So my role here today is primarily to make sure that all of you can act as single units in the community and stop the progress of whatever COVID-19 may bring. The reason why I am so interested in COVID-19 is that after generations, it is the only virus. Am I talking to you? Okay. All right. You can see me, yes? Okay. So, it is extremely important for you to know about the city of Wuhan. Do you think the city of Wuhan is a well-developed city? I'd like answers, everybody. I like answers, I like everybody. Yes, it is. Do you know the population of the city of Wuhan? It is actually 11 million. The population of the city of Wuhan is 11 million. It has more than 300 universities. It is a student town. Everybody there is educated. 40% of them are graduates. But then why Wuhan? Wuhan and Chennai and South India have a lot of demographic similarities. One of the similarities is our population is the same. Both of us have 10 million of shifting population. And the other thing is, Wuhan is a student town. So what happens in a student town? Students stay there for the year and then they travel. And this time they all started to travel for the new year. So what happened was, why am I standing here today? Why is it important for all of you to come here when you have been reading and seeing about the coronavirus for the last 1 month? It is important because you all know as informed people that the information you have is not validated. Yes or no? Yes.
Why do you have that feeling? Can anybody tell me why you have that feeling that, okay, I'm still not sure if it is the right information? No, it is because for any information to get validated, it takes a minimum of 9 months to 12 months, the same time it takes to make a viral vaccine. So all the information you are seeing on WhatsApp about 170 people, 200 people, salt, alkalinity, acidity, everything is not validated. validated. What do I mean by validated? Validated is it is not evidence-based, it is eminence-based. One person who's really popular, who has a lot of viewers, says something, it is made into a photograph and it is printed. So let's get to the real information. Can everybody see this? Can I have the lights switched off, please? Because it's just a few points which I would like to make. All these statistics are absolute statistics. This is the statistic of this morning at 5 a.m. So the total number of infected patients till now is 125. Those who have recovered are 64,000, which means the recovery rate is 50 and above. Now, if you see, it says the active cases are 47,403. What does it mean, active cases? They are patients who have still not recovered, but they can be recovered. Yeah? So, in all possibility, the number of deaths, which is 4089, could stop from anywhere between 7,000 to 50,000. And it depends upon what? It is a perfect slide for them. What does it depend upon? It depends upon how the virus spreads. Does it spread when I blow, or when I cough, or when I touch somebody, or when I sneeze? The coronavirus is weird in that it is very similar to the seasonal flu when it comes to spreading. And it is very different when it comes to the mortality rate of those who have the serious version of the virus. Now, who is going to get the serious version of the virus? Who do you think? Generally, those who are weaker than the rest of the population. So, who in our family is weaker than the rest of the population? Our parents, our in-laws, those who are above 65. So, this coronavirus, it's not very virulent. Only 3,000 have died. All this is right. The point what I'm here for is corona is a virus which attacks a very specific demographic. It attacks those who have lower lymphocytes. What are lymphocytes? Lymphocytes are white blood cells. They are our warrior cells in the body. So lymphocytes are specific to antiviral efficacy. So when you grow older, your bone marrow is not as efficacious as when you're an adolescent or a kid or when you're 30. And the first thing which reduces is lymphocytosis. Lymphocytes stop growing. So any of you who has anybody who you love who's above 65, everyone in your family should be as cautious as that person, because we are young, we are strong, we can even be asymptomatic carriers who could infect somebody older in our houses. And that is why you need to take this coronavirus seriously, because as everybody says, yeah, this is a very, very beautiful. So far, children and adolescents have been far less affected by the COVID-19 and their symptoms always have been mild. You feel good looking at this. The WHO is a trickster, you know. Do you feel good looking at this? Tell me, yes or no? I feel brilliant when I look at this. Why do I feel brilliant? Because I know that my future generations are safe, but my future generations are safe from infection. They could be the greatest carriers of coronavirus fatality in your community. I want you guys to understand this. So this line is actually one of the most dangerous lines about the coronavirus. That so far adolescents and children have been less affected. So it's great. Our children are safe. Our children are safe. Why was it a problem in Wuhan? Coming back to the history. Wuhan is a student town. So in a student town, they were identifying for the first 4 weeks that that younger people, students, had a funny kind of respiratory infection which sometimes went into a pneumonia which healed. It healed with normal antimicrobials, normal antibiotics, and with supportive treatment. But then after the first wave, when they sent the patients back, older people started to fall dead when they started to get out of the house. There are disturbing images of a man just walking with a mask, stumbling and falling. 68 years old, 74 years old. In Chennai, we have a lot, our older population is around 30%. So the susceptibility of a city like Chennai, which has wet markets also, where animals are slaughtered and sold directly. That's a wet market. Wet market, the population, older people, and a lot of younger people. Now, this is the city of Wuhan. So that what you see there is a wet market. What is a wet market? A wet market is a place where you choose something alive and they chop it up, they cook it, or they sell it to you. That is a wet market. So now, coronavirus is there in bats. How the hell did it mutate and get into human beings? That's a question I will answer. Now, this is the Wuhan City Central Hospital. It is 2,400 bedded tertiary care institution, and they were struggling. They were struggling because anybody who has a respiratory virus was dragged, taken, and put in hospital along with those who had COVID-19, and there was an intermixing of infection because at that time nobody knew that 85% of infections are asymptomatic and mild. So they thought whether it's a corona or a flu or whatever it is, let us clump them together. And that is what started this outburst. Today though, in China, of the 81,000 infected, 60,000 have already recovered. I will tell you how. Now, the name coronavirus, it's not related to the bear, but it is related to why corona. Corona means crown. So if you see, can you see those red spots there? The red spots, the distance between the red spots is what changes the characteristic of the virus. So if you see, can you see this, this RNA here. This RNA is ribonucleic acid. It is actually the heart, or I would rather say the blueprint of the virus. So the coronavirus can actually change depending upon the host and what the climate or the country's conditions are. Now, this is something I really doubt if any of you would have heard. You have to understand. Would you like to know how to control the coronavirus? Yes or no? Or you're still not sure? Yes. So the R value is in a disease. If R is equal to 1, it means if you are sitting in front, your eyesight I will capture. So if he has coronavirus, I am catching it, so I will have it too. If he spreads it only to me, his R is 1. At this point of time, say I am coronavirus. In the world, my R is 2.2. Yes, please. I will come back to it. My R is 2.2. It means that as a coronavirus, I am, for every one person who is infected at this point of time, I am happily infecting 2.2 people. Which means I'm really happy that I am not going to be finished at this point of time. If any of you are thinking that we have seen the end of Corona, it's a drama, China is being pointed out and all that, let all that be true. Even I've heard more than rumors about it. But the point is that at this point of time, R is 2.2, and you have to bring
are down to less than 1 in order for it to be a non-communicable disease. So here again, the point which I want you to take is children and adolescents are super spreaders. They will not have any symptoms. They might just have a cough and a cold, but everybody, yeah, you can use that words. See, if you have a cough, give it to your dad. That's all you have to do. So you have to understand that if a child has a cough or a cold, you have to keep the child away from anybody in your family who you think is susceptible. Yes, all the children can go to hostels now. Now, see, the SARS virus, the MERS virus, all the viruses which we know about have been coronaviruses from 2003. I don't know why this time they decided to just make the word corona really, really popular. Why we are afraid of it is if you see, even though the SARS, the MERS, their mortality rate was very high, the number death is way more in COVID-19, and the reason is because of the unsuspecting super spreaders around the immunologically compromised or the weaker people. So just so that you know exactly how it spreads. So the coronavirus from Wuhan was in a bat, and the bat was apparently, and the infected bat was stacked up on cages above an anteater whose scales are eaten a lot apparently in China. And from there to the wet market in Wuhan, it spread to people visiting, not eating the food. When you cook the meat, coronavirus dies. So people who are handling the food, handling the animals, touching the animals, because when you handle it, sweating, you take it and you do it and you're done. So the coronavirus doesn't need to have a bat or an anteater or a wet market anymore. All of us are enough. Because right now the virus is in a phase where it has already mutated to affect human beings. So we should just have, just like in school, no simple thing, 1 arm distance. 1 arm distance in everything, including in school. Anybody says, come closer, say no, 1 arm distance. 1 arm distance is the first thing which will save you from getting the coronavirus. So what will happen if it enters? In 85% of patients who are infected will have no symptoms, flu-like symptoms, or just fever, body pain, and cough. 85% of them. And in that, 60% of them will heal without an issue, but we are not worried about them. We are worried about who the 60% are going to infect when they have a mild disease. That is the point I want all of you to take. Now, what is acute respiratory distress syndrome? Acute respiratory distress syndrome is when you want to breathe and you're puffing out, but only 30% of your air capacity you are able to take in and take out. It is because your lung musculature is not able to work because of accumulation of fluid or pus or edema, or it could be anything. Then the final one is critical illness with organ failure. Once even there, the mortality rate of corona is only around 49%. So if 2 of them land in organ failure, 1 of them will still survive. Yeah. Do you feel happy about this? Maybe, thank you. That was why, see, the agenda of this meet is, as you are my Rotary, you need to see through the smoke. Because it is our duty to protect the community, our community, with just information. The vaccine trials for COVID-19 are phase 1, starting in April. So it will take at least 9 months for the actual vaccines to come out. Have any of you thought of getting tested for the coronavirus? If you have, then it is just a blood test. Okay, it's not any scary thing. A blood test with an RNA PCR, that is, it just recognizes the RNA strands to say if you have corona or not. What is symptomatic treatment? Symptomatic treatment is your normal, traditional medicine. My dad always asks me to drink that Nilabembu Kashayam. Yeah? Nilabembu Kashayam is actually shown to increase your lymphocytes. So please drink it, it is very, very good for you. Then antivirals, antibiotics, anti-malarials. All those are for those who need hospitalization, and many of the drugs are working, but still there is no drug which kills the corona 100%. Now the treatments which look really promising are, we have 60,000 of them who are already healed from the corona. So those who are struggling to heal, doctors are harvesting antibodies from those who have healed, who have the capacity to resist the virus, and injecting it into the elderly and those who are unable to deal with it. Now, how to protect yourself? It is just these 5 things. There is nothing else you can do. Please don't wear masks. Please. Please don't. I will explain it to you really. See, so just wash your hands even with salt water. You know, if there is no hand spray, don't worry. All of you have alcohol in your house, yeah? Put it in a spray bottle and spray. It works on corona. If there is no antiseptic and you need to clean something, alcohol is more than enough to get rid of corona. And the other thing is, yeah, it's an interesting question. A friend of mine called Saran, he was traveling to Vietnam. So he asked me, hey, should I come and get a booster? But at that point of time, he was sitting with a Jack Daniels glass. I said, from this point onwards, to the lounge, to the airport, back to the hotel, keep drinking. Nobody will come near you anyway. Corona is not going to reach you. Yeah? So 1 arm distance. See, always this 1 arm distance. Make sure. Be there. See, what we are doing right now is actually not good. We are sitting too close to each other. Now, the final thing. See, the question on everybody's mind is masks. You know, what is the fascination with masks? I will tell you. You know, biologically, this zone, the T zone, is the zone we were meant to protect. Whatever happens, we close it. Anything happens, we finish it. Because this has blood supply which goes straight to the brain. Yeah? So now, masks make us feel emotionally that we have protected a vulnerable spot in our body. See, when I am operating, I wear a mask. You know why I wear a mask? My theater is sterile. My patient is painted with loads of sterilium and he's sterile. I wear a mask to protect the theater environment and my patient. If I say, hey, assistant, give this, I don't want my droplets to fall. That is the only purpose of a surgical mask. A surgical mask is not enough to protect you from the tiny COVID-19 at all. If you want to wear it emotionally or you think it's a fashion statement, then okay. So then what are these N95 masks? N95 masks are called N95 because they filter 95% of the viruses. But that comes with an issue. N95 masks have to be used with protective gear. And the sizes have to be fitted right, because if there is a spot open here or you scratch your leg and then do like this, it is of no damn use. And I haven't seen one person wearing a mask not touch the mask
every 30 seconds. Think about it. Someone just went sweating here, pull it down, pull it up, move it this side, take it down, sneeze, put it up, you know. So it is only a bigger source of infection the longer you keep it around. Because we are in a sweaty damn country. It sweats, we pull, we push, it's gone. So you're carrying a source of infection right on your nose. So surprisingly, this is the extent of my talk. So do any of you have any questions?
Yeah, we have one member who deals in all these marks.
Yes,
Hope he's not offended.
I think we already sold enough. No, see, again, masks are extremely important. See, coming to this point, the reason why I want you to not use masks now is India and China are the ones who are mass producing masks. And you know what we do? We don't produce it again. We wash it and we tag it. And I'm not joking. You guys think I'm joking. We have already found that has started in Chennai. People have already started washing and repacking some of them. Some of them, I don't know what they do. It is repacked. That will be a huge issue if by any chance the coronavirus becomes an epidemic. It doesn't look like it in any other country other than Italy now. But then again, Europe is a different ballgame as they like to eat a lot of things from. Yeah? If any of you like sushi, this is the time to stay away. Seriously. Other than that, protect your children from mild infections. If they have infection, treat them even though they're not sick. Treat them in such a way that you know that they are the super spreaders. Yeah? That is how the corona will enter into your house, your community, and create havoc. Yes? Oh, sorry.
Here.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Hi. Sorry.
I'm Dr. Parthi.
Yes.
My question to you is,
Yes, please.
corona, the word corona
Yeah.
is there in Dettol bottles. How is that related?
Wow, you know, this is my 14th or 15th talk about this topic. Nobody asked me this. I really don't know, actually. I can get back to you. Maybe it looks like a crown. No, I see.
No, like it is there in all Dettol bottles. The word corona, I don't know. In the label.
Oh, really? Maybe.
Was it always been?
No, I don't know.
Is it a new thing or has it always been there?
It's there, maybe. It's there.
Have you seen the bottle or did you see this on WhatsApp? I see this. Yeah? Have you seen the bottle? Okay, all right.
We can ask him for one.
Yes. No, see, actually, I'm not aware of. Is that nice? Oh, it says that it kills corona. Yeah, yes, I know. I know, yes. I just finished that. See, that is the thing. Unless it is COVID-19, it doesn't mean this virus. Yeah, because there are, I think, 125 coronaviruses identified till now. So probably it protects against a few coronaviruses. Yes, please.
In the Google, it's written corona, the outermost region of the sun's atmosphere.
Yeah,
So maybe the Dettol family, they were
Possible.
educators.
see? Yes, could be.
I have a question. Sir.
Yes, please.
Our Balaji.
Yeah.
First Balaji.
Can I- Just 1 minute, Balaji. Yes, please.
In Italy,
Yeah.
percentage of increase is quite phenomenal.
Yes.
In
Let me
spite of
talk
the
about
personal hygiene and as you said, the wet market not being there.
No, see,
Is there any other things? Because what I spoke to a friend of mine this afternoon, they said it's completely desert in Milan.
yeah.
So they are at home for the last 15
See,
days.
when I was doing my fellowship in Europe, I worked with a surgeon, he's an orthopedic surgeon who's right now in Italy. And he told me that they have not fixed elective surgeries for the next 6 weeks because they are expecting an outburst. Why is
it happening in Italy? It's happening in Italy because there the government cannot go drag everybody who has the flu and take them to the hospital to control it. It's a land of the free. When it's a land of the free, when they say go to the doctor, he won't go. He will go and eat some cheese with some cold cuts. That is one of the reasons Italy is struggling. Today I saw that there were 984 new cases from yesterday to today, and totally they have around 10,000 odd cases already with close to 1,000 dead. It's dangerous. Italy is on the verge unless they stop, unless they reduce the R, Treating the corona is of no use. Whatever the drugs is of no use. Unless you bring the R to less than 1. So if R is equal to 1, one person infected infects another person. So even when R is equal to 1, treating the disease perfectly will not kill the disease. So right now, even if you can treat in the corona perfectly, we have to stop contamination. So we have to protect our youngsters and our elders. We need to start exercising. Please exercise every day. Exercise for 40 minutes every day. Start to do some weights. Breathe out. The more your lungs exercise, see, our lungs are made of muscles. When your lungs exercise, the better they can push out any infection in the first respiratory mechanism itself. Otherwise, it stays back inside for longer. The concentration becomes higher. Yes?
See, when the coronavirus started, they said that N95 is the only mask which protects from coronavirus. Then India did a ban on export of coronavirus for the N95 mask.
Every country did a ban on export of coronavirus.
N95 mask.
Yes.
And then people started saying that any surgical mask is enough. Then they said 3-ply surgical mask with all the very bad quality things. So now people, like everybody is running behind mask where it is surgical mask. They now know that the N95 is not going to be.
At Bevel Hospital also, we have ordered a lot of masks. We have to sell when they ask. No, you have to know the truth. There is trends, and we are preparing for the trends as a business. That is different. What I am talking about is actually information about how to not get the corona. So trust me, the COVID-19, even if you wear 4 masks, 2 over your ears, 1 over your back, it will still get in. Absolutely, absolutely. That it's no way a mask will protect you, especially when you keep touching your face.
But when you say that the lung has to throw out, but when you wear a mask, again it's only circulating.
Yes, I'm saying don't wear that. Oh my God, okay. Wait, I'm going to. Please don't wear masks. If you want to protect yourself from the corona, save the masks. Masks are very important. You have to keep it when there is an actual need. Healthcare workers will definitely need it if it is an epidemic. They will be the ones to make maximum use out of it because they will be the ones treating everyone. You wear a mask not to protect the healthy, please remember it. You don't wear a mask to protect the healthy. You wear a mask to create a barrier between the sick person and somebody healthy so that the sick person there is a barrier and it doesn't allow the infection to spread. Anything else? Some more clarification about masks? Okay.
You got enough.
No, yeah. Okay. Super. Thank you very much for listening. I do not address masks. I use 5 every day. It is very important. Let's use it for the right things. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you very much. Next. I call Mr. Secretary Deputy Service for Secretary of Hospitals.
Thank you.
First of all, I thank all the and for participating in this wonderful session. And I would like to recognize Mr. Dato Next, we have birthday announcement. And Raven, son of Pascal, celebrating birthday on 11th March, that is today. And Rotarian Arun Prasad on 13th March. And Sri Lakshmi, wife of Rotarian Prabhu, 15th March. And Geeta Sri, wife of Satish Kumar, celebrating birthday on 17th March. Sunil. And Kunasiran, son of Rotarian Sambat, celebrating birthday on 17th March. There is no wedding anniversary for this week. And our next weekly meeting on 18th March. And on 18th March, 18th March is the Dark Baba. And dinner will be served in Spice Hut restaurant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary. அடுத்து நம்ம சிறப்பு விருந்தினர் தற்போ ராமநாதன் அவர்களுக்கு வெள்ளி விழா எச்சரிக்கை அறிவிக்குமாறு சதீஷ் அவர்கள். சில்வர் ஜூப்ளி டாக்டர்
For all the members, he is Rotarian from Rotary Club of Penang. They are a sister club. Whenever he is from native of Karaikudi, whenever he visits Chennai, he makes sure that he visits our club. He is one of our club members. Happy to pin the silver jubilee. ரொம்ப நல்ல ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பினாங் போனா எல்லாம் மிஸ் பண்ணிடாதீங்க. ரொம்ப நல்லா
Thank you, Dr. Rama. What are thanks? Request Rotarian Bureau, sir.
President Shivram, Secretary Ramesh Babu, Chairman for the evening Selva Kumar, Speaker for the evening Dr. Santosh. May I request you all to put a hand together for the president? May I request you to put your hands together for our dear friend Bobby alias And firstly, welcome to Prabhu and Karthik to the family of Rotary Club of Guindy. We look forward to seeing you regularly at our club. Not only you become a member presently of 97 members of the Rotary Club of Guindy, but you are into the family of 1.2 million Rotarians across 33,000 clubs worldwide. Welcome to this international fraternity for friends with commitment and dedication to service and a zeal in any endeavor that we endeavor on. Friends, now coming on to our doctor, Dr. Santosh, I'm certainly taken in with your passion, which was transparent and obvious. For a moment I was wondering whether that passionate expression of yours was an exasperation and frustration about the kind of inputs that we have been getting on WhatsApp. I certainly did feel frustrated at one point with the kind of information and disinformation that flowed. So I share your anguish, but I'm taken in fully by the passion with which
you were trying to sincerely convey to all of us on the care and precautions that one has to take. Ultimately, friends, it's the basics which makes for a healthy living. Each one of us have been taught to wash our hands, take care of our personal hygiene, and let us all confess to ourselves, we have done it more on the slide than in real. So all that Corona calls for is to take care of your personal hygiene first, ensure that your neighbor and friends take care of their personal hygiene, and each one of us are into a safe, healthy world. Thank you, Santosh, for having woken up our eyes to these basic facts. Friends, the good news is the communist country China has been able to contain the corona. Russia has been speaking hardly of anything of corona, but democratic countries across the world are facing a problem. And in Europe in particular, during cold seasons or during a cold weather, flu is a common occurrence, and maybe taking it for granted that it could be a common influenza is the cause for the spread of the virus across Europe and in US. But of course, all of them are democracy, at least on paper. And if you are a democracy, there is a price to pay. I think Dr. Santosh did not want to say it in so many words, and he did convey it very clearly. He could have done it better. But let me caution you, India is a democracy, but let the care start from us. Thank you very much, Santosh. I am taken in by your passion. All the best to you. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Nelson Anthony, please.